Hello, my name is Edward Fox. Thank you for giving me your time watching and listening to this. What I want to tell you right now is that based on the law of divine oneness, this is the first of the 12 universal laws of the universe. What I really think and believe, based on what I've been hearing and what I've been learning, we are all connected, right? That's the law of divine oneness. You are doing a disservice to everybody in existence when you do not do what you're supposed to do. And when I say when you don't do what you're supposed to do, I mean when you're not abiding correctly by these laws in a positive way. And when I say that, let's think about gravity. There's a law of gravity and it works. And you have to do right by gravity. Whether you're jumping from 10 feet or jumping from 25 feet, if you're not going to land on something soft, gravity is going to make sure that if you're landing on a hard surface, you will be hurt. Trust me. When you're playing basketball and you're jumping around and you land on your legs the wrong way, you will have an injury. So now I'm telling you this because I was just playing basketball and I was thinking about my opponents, right? We're about to run a 2v2 with this guy. Like I said, hey, you want to play 2v2 with us? Because I was already playing all man with these young guys, right? The young guys are already good. They're scoring on me. I was barely able to score, right? Because I'm injured. I already have an injury before I get in the gym. So that means when it came to me and this new guy playing 2v2 against somebody I was already losing against, I'm like, okay, I need to step it up. I need to go and start practicing before we do this 2 versus 2. Then I look across the court. These young guys I was just playing all man against, we're about to do 2v2. They're running plays. Like they're doing pick and roll plays, getting ready for the game we're about to play. I'm playing by myself. I'm on my side of the gym just shooting, and I'm missing layups. I'm thinking, dang, I'm doing my next partner, I'm doing my new teammate a disservice by not putting in enough work. I wasn't doing things properly. I'm like, dang, I'm doing bruh a disservice. I don't even know bruh. But if I'm not doing right, we could potentially lose. I done asked him to play a game with me. If I'm not doing right, I'm potentially lose. And I think about that in business. If your potential business partner is not doing right when it comes to reading the books they need to be reading, taking the courses they need to be taking, putting the action they need to be taking, they're doing you a disservice when y'all do business together. Y'all gonna potentially mess up if you and them are both not putting in the right time to study. Y'all not putting in the right time of action. You're not building up the portfolio. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You setting yourself and them up to fail when you come in contact with them. Now let's think about marriage. You not doing your future wife or your future husband. No, you're not doing them nothing good when you slacking off. You're not doing them nothing good when you trying not to put in the effort that it takes for you to become the person that you was created to be from God. Like God created you with a purpose. So when you or I are not doing what we're supposed to be doing based on what God put in us, we're doing you first. You doing God a disservice because He created you with a purpose. And you're supposed to be fulfilling that purpose. You're doing yourself a disservice, you're doing your friends and family a disservice, and you're doing everybody else a disservice. Because the thing is, I can say this with so much conviction because this is my experience. I had a phone call earlier. This guy's telling me some things going on in his life. And I'm thinking to myself, I shouldn't even be on this phone call. He doing himself a disservice. I'm doing me a disservice being on this phone call. And guess what? Everything it takes for me to be better, for God, be better for me, be better for my family, my friends, and then y'all, I gotta do it because if not, I'm doing y'all a disservice, and that's not cool. That's unfair. I look forward to having a wife. I look forward to being a parent. What am I doing today? Oh, of course I'm gonna do it. What am I doing today that is going to push me forward to being better for that. I cannot slack off. I cannot not put in the work. I cannot not study. I'm a put on a book after I finish recording this. And the thing is, it's important because sometimes there's so many people looking to put in less effort. Bro, that shit lame. I keep telling myself I have to do more. I have to do more. I have to do more. I started writing a book last week. It's not done today. That's why I'm gonna go finish that book. I was working on it the day before I left the house to come work out, of course. But the thing is, you have to keep going. You have to complete. You have to get rid of the old habits that are no longer serving. You have to get rid of the habits of things that could have hurt you and hurt others. Because anything that's hurting you is hurting everybody around you. You need to recycle. That sounds random, but the thing is, it's not random. Every bit of everything that comes from this earth and goes back into this earth is either going to help us or hurt us. I need you to do the research. I need you to think about it. If we keep poisoning the earth, where are we going to get our food from? I ain't got to say nothing else about that. That's clearly cut. That's simple. You got to think every day, how are you making yourself better for the purpose that God created you for? And then yourself, your goals, the goals that line up with what God has for you. And I'm not talking about goals about consumerism, because a lot of times people want to just make money so they can buy shit that don't do nothing for nobody. Of course, we might think, oh, we're buying something, we're stimulating the economy. Bro, you're buying that stuff just to look at it or just to show somebody else that you have it. Last night on my Instagram story, I asked people, would they rather buy a property or buy a Louis Vuitton bag or buy a purse? 16 people said they would rather buy property. Nobody said they would rather buy a purse. And if they said they'd buy the purse, I would have unfollowed them and probably blocked them, because I don't need that energy in my life. And the thing is, the context of what happened before that was I posted something that another guy, this guy's a multimillionaire. He works in healthcare. He showed on his story a message of him talking to somebody about how buying purses or buying bags is really doing a disservice. Like, he was talking about these guys that buy these women that they like. They buy them purses. He was talking about how these guys are really doing these women a disservice, and they could really invest in them or help them in some other way. And that really is true, because you buying somebody a bag so they can show it off on Instagram, bro, for the same amount as a Louis Vuitton bag, or the cheapest Birkin bag is $10,000. For that same amount, you can buy, you could buy a house. You could buy a house that's on a tax sale, a judicial in-rem tax sale. I want you to research that. Research judicial in-rem tax sale. The in-rem is I-N space R-E-M tax sale. Judicial in-rem tax sale. You can buy a house at the judicial in-rem tax sale, yes, for the same amount or less than a $3,000 Louis Vuitton bag. Trust me. When I say judicial in-rem tax sale, I mean it's past it being a sheriff tax sale, because the sheriff tax sale is for when the person is behind maybe 1 year on their taxes. And them being behind 1 year on their taxes means they need to go ahead and get caught up on their taxes, right? Kind of simple. You can purchase, or you can pay their you can pay their back taxes, and within a year, they need to pay you back the back taxes that you paid plus 10%. This is common knowledge, right? I mean, everybody doesn't know it, everybody doesn't do it. But what I'm saying is there's people out there buying bags to show off to somebody else on the internet instead of purchasing, like paying taxes and getting a 10% return on your income. I mean, on your investment, right? But now the judicial in-rem tax sale is like 2 or 3 or more years that this person is behind on their taxes. Guess what? At that time period, that person's back taxes supersedes the mortgage that may be on the house. So if you were to pay that back taxes on a judicial in-rem tax sale, you can get the whole property and not pay any mortgage because you paid the taxes. in a judicial in-rem tax sale. I'm saying this with conviction because I'm looking around. Why the fuck would I buy a purse if I could buy a house? Especially when people out here talking about there's no houses to buy. There are houses to buy. But guess what? They need to be renovated. Somebody got a house, but they don't live there. And somebody got a house because they inherited because their grandmother died. And they don't know what to do with the house. They don't have enough money to take care of another house. They're already paying rent or they're already paying mortgage somewhere else. And they don't know what to do with another house. That's where you come in. Or that's where I come in. You will not catch me in a Louis Vuitton store buying no damn bag. I'm buying houses. Houses, real estate, commercial real estate, residential real estate. Residential real estate is the largest asset class in the world, worth over $16 trillion globally. I will not be buying a purse. You know what I'm saying? So you do yourself a disservice when you are not abiding correctly by the laws of the universe. First, you're doing yourself a disservice when you are not doing the right thing when it comes to your physical, emotional, and spiritual health. You are doing yourself a disservice when you are not praying, when you are not meditating. You're doing yourself a disservice. Do not be hurting yourself out here. Do not hurt others. That's not good for nobody. That karma will be on you. It's best to do the right thing the first time. I saw this quote when I was younger, right? I was like 19 or 20 years old. I saw this quote in this place that I was working in, right? Because my mom had a cleaning contract basically, and I was working a cleaning contract with her with this business. And there was this note inside the office, and it was like right above the copier, and it said, if you don't do things right the first time, how will you find the time to do it right the second time? If you're not doing things right to start off, you're hurting yourself and you're hurting everybody else that is involved with you. You have to do the right thing. You need to get around mentors that can teach you the right path to go on at every point of your life. That's why it's important to have spiritual mentors that can tell you more about how you need to meditate every day, pray every day. You can do your affirmations. Another thing that is very important, the Bible is real. God is real. I want you to start phrasing your affirmations in the thought process in the way of what God said in his word. People want to have a lot of money. Guess what? That is appropriate. God does not want you to be broke. Nothing about God's word wants you to be broke. Nothing about God wants you to not have. Like, God is a God of abundance. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is a God of abundance. God don't want you to be broke. Trust me. There's nothing about God that wants you to be poor. There's nothing about God that wants you to struggle and hurt and be in pain. Look, there is a verse in the Bible that talks about the blessing of the Lord maketh rich and addeth no sorrow to it. I believe that's in Proverbs chapter 10. Let me go to it right now. Okay. I'm looking for it. But the thing is, I need y'all to know. I need you to know for a fact. Okay, yeah. So one thing, Proverbs chapter 10 verse 14 says, wise men lay up knowledge, but the mouth of the foolish is near destruction. Yeah. Okay. That's real right there. Okay. So it's Proverbs chapter 10 verse 22. The blessing of the Lord, it maketh rich, and he addeth no sorrow with it. There are people out there working, doing less strenuous work. They're not working with their physical bodies. They're not lifting boxes. They're not moving things around. They're not driving vehicles, delivering food. They're not driving, doing Ubers. These people are making a lot more money than you because they're doing something with their mind. They're learning, they're researching, they're making calls, they're building their network. They're getting people to fund their businesses. They're getting people to fund real estate acquisitions. People are starting private equity funds. People are starting venture capital funds. People are starting... I'm mentioning this because I want to work in private equity. Private equity is owning businesses, like buying businesses, renovating the business in a way of cutting costs, getting better marketing, making the products and services better, making the products more profitable, making the services more profitable, making the business more profitable, and guess what? Selling the business. That's private equity. But there's private equity firms, there's venture capital firms, and those firms are getting money from pension funds. Like, come on. They're getting money from insurance companies. There's a lot happening out here because people are looking and they're learning, they're researching, and they're saying, who do I work with? What type of work do I do? Who do I connect with? And again, I need you to think about how you do yourself a disservice if you're not doing these things. Not just about money, but if you're not thinking in the right way, if you're not thinking on a level and a frequency that you need to, if you're not doing the work, if you're not learning how to better care and have compassion for another person, you're hurting yourself. You're not doing what God wants you to do, and you're hurting everybody else around you. Again, like I said before, me being injured, my doggone finger. Come on now. I need to improve. Guess what? I hit my thumb on someone's leg earlier while I was playing defense. And guess what? Like, it hurt. I had to pause the game for a few minutes. But the thing is, I felt in my heart, I felt in my spirit, I said, don't quit on yourself. We were already up, because I had just scored the last one. We were up 14 to 7, 14 to 8. So I said, we're going to 21. Let me go and get back in the game. Let's go ahead and win. We won. But again, it was in my mind before we started the game. I do not want to be a disservice to anybody. So guess what? I'm going to keep studying. I'm going to keep learning. I'm going to keep growing. I'm going to do the best I can each and every day. I don't want to just be lax. You feel what I'm saying? I don't want to not do enough. I want to do more than enough. So where there is no way, if and or but, that I do not wake up in a nice, magnificent, glorious, luxurious mansion that the people have told me you have to live here because of what you've done for me. And again, I want you to know, people don't really care about anything else besides what you can do for them and what you're doing for them. There's something in Proverbs chapter 14. I want you to know this. You can have all that you have. You can be all that you are, but if you're not doing anything for anybody else, they really don't care about you. Like, trust me. Like, I really need you to know that, because people want to know. People want to know what you can do for them. That's all that matters to them. Not only in business, but it's just life. So it's not Proverbs chapter 14, it's Proverbs chapter 11. It says, he that withholdeth corn, the people shall curse him, but blessing shall be upon the head of him that selleth it. Now let's think about this. Again, this is Proverbs chapter 11, verse 26. You see that right there? Proverbs chapter 11, verse 26. So you can have this huge, amazing, awesome farm. You can have 500 million acres. But if you're not selling the people what you're growing on that farm, they do not care. You can have 1 acre. You can have a half an acre. You might have a hectare or something like that, whatever they call it. But if you have half an acre and you're selling your community what you're growing, and they're satisfied, they like you more than the person that has 500,000 or 500 million acres. Because the person that has 500,000 or 500 million acres of land or farmland, and that person, if that person is not selling to them, they don't give a damn about you and what you got. People only care about what you're doing for them. So when it comes to all these people talking about who has what and who got the most money, who's the richest, people only, people that drive Tesla don't care about how much money Elon Musk got, because they want to give him more, because they like that car so much. They like what it offers. I'll tell you what, I like it. Tesla's one of the fastest cars I've ever driven in my life. It's so fun. It's awesome. But it gave me a little bit of a chest ache and a headache, but I still loved it. It went so fast. I felt it in my chest. The G-forces, it was awesome. But I tell you what, people care about what you can do for them. Not just about what you have, and not just about who you say you are. You're doing a disservice to people by not being who God created you to be and not being your best self. I love you. I care for you. I want you to do the right thing today. Bye-bye.